Cells are the structural units of all living things. In this video, we're going to discuss about the structures and functions shared by all cells. We will discuss about the anatomy of a generalized cell. In general, all cells have three main regions or parts: a nucleus, a plasma membrane, and the cytoplasm. Let's talk about the nucleus. Almost all of us are familiar with the nucleus. They are the headquarters or the control center that contains DNA. The nucleus has three recognizable regions or structures: the nuclear envelope, nucleolus, and chromatin. The nuclear boundary is a double membrane barrier called the nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. The two layers of the nuclear envelope fuse, generating openings called nuclear pores. The nuclear envelope allows some but not all substances to pass through it. Let's take a closer look to an anatomy of the generalized cell. The nucleoli are sites where cell structures called ribosomes are assembled. Chromatin is when a cell is not dividing. Its DNA is carefully wound around proteins called histones to form a loose network of beads on a string. When a cell is dividing to form two daughter cells, the chromatin threads coil and condense to form chromosomes. The flexible plasma membrane is a fragile, transparent barrier that contains the cell contents and separates them from the surrounding environment. The plasma membrane consists of two phospholipid layers arranged tail to tail. We have hydrophilic, also known as water-loving and are attracted to water, and hydrophobic, which is known as water-fearing that avoids the water. The factory floor. The cytoplasm is the factory floor, a site of most cellular activities that is outside the nucleus and inside the plasma membrane. It has three major components: the cytosol, inclusions, and organelles. Organelles are specialized to carry out a specific function for the cell as a whole, just like the organs carry out specialized functions for the whole body. The mitochondria supply most of the ATP, which provides the energy for all cellular work, so they are the powerhouses of the cell. Ribosomes are the actual sites of protein synthesis in the cell. The endoplasmic reticulum has two forms, the rough and smooth. Rough ER is studied with ribosomes and is the cell's membrane factory. Smooth ER functions in lipid metabolism and detoxification, drugs, and pesticides. The Golgi apparatus modify, package, and shape proteins in specific ways, depending on their final destination. Lysosomes contains powerful digestive enzymes that digest worn out or non-usable cell structures and most foreign substances that enter the cell. Peroxisomes contains powerful oxidase enzymes that use molecular oxygen to detoxify a number of harmful or poisonous substances. The cytoskeleton is the internal framework that determines cell shape, supports other organelles, and provides the machinery for intracellular transport and various types of cellular movements. The cytoskeleton is made up of microfilaments, intermediate filaments, and microtubules. Cell life cycle is the series of changes a cell goes through from the time it is formed until it divides. The cycle has two major periods, interphase and cell division. Interphase refers to the process in which the cell grows and carries on its usual metabolic activities. The DNA is duplicated. Cell division, on the other hand, is process by which a parent cell divides into two or more daughter cells. Cell division has two phases, mitosis and cytokinesis. But before we proceed, I'd like to ask some question. Have you ever looked in the mirror and noticed how much you've grown for the past years? Surprisingly, mitosis is behind all of this. Well, there wouldn't be growth and damage repair happening if there aren't enough cells, right? So, mitosis is a process of making two identical daughter cells. It consists of 4 stages, which can easily be remembered as PMAT. P is for prophase. It is first stage wherein the nucleus is still present and the chromosomes are visible. M is for metaphase. In this stage, the chromosomes line up in the middle of the cell and the nucleus is already nowhere to be found. A is for anaphase. The chromosomes in this stage are moving away to the opposite sides with the help of the spindles. The last stage is the T. for telophase. In this stage, the nuclei are starting to appear again, surrounding the chromosomes on each side. The next phase of cell division is cytokinesis. It is a process of separating the two new cells by splitting the cytoplasm. Let's move on to our body tissues. They are epithelium, connective, muscle, and nervous. The epithelium is the lining, covering, and granular tissue of the body. Its functions include protection, absorption, filtration, and secretion. Epithelium is classified based on its cell arrangement. They are simple epithelium, which means that it has one layer of cells, and stratified epithelium, which means it has more than one cell layer. It is also classified based on its cell shapes: the squamous cell, which are flattened like fish scales, cuboidal cells, which are cube-shaped like dice, and columnar cells, which are shaped like columns. Connective tissue connects the body parts and is responsible for protecting, supporting, and binding together other body tissues. Fat, ligaments, and tendons, bones, and cartilage are all connective tissue. Muscle tissue is highly specialized to contract or shorten, which causes movements. There are 3 types of muscle tissue. The skeletal muscle attached to the skeleton results to gross body movements when contracted. Cardiac muscle found in the heart wall works to keep your heart pumping through involuntary movements. And smooth muscle found in the walls of hollow organs move food through the digestive tract. Nervous system is composed of irritable cells called neurons, highly specialized to receive and transmit nerve impulses, and supporting cells called neuroglia. When controls of the cell cycle and cell division malfunction, an abnormal cell mass called a neoplasm or tumor develops. It can be benign or malignant. However, not all increases in cell number involve neoplasm. Certain body tissues may enlarge because there is some local irritant or condition that stimulates the cells. This response is called hyperplasia. In contrast, atrophy or decrease in size can occur in an organ of body area that loses its normal stimulation. That's all for today. See you in the next video.